everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 6 News. My name is Bianca, and today we are going to have the super educators here with us to talk about 6-year-olds and their development and how they grow, everything that you need to know about 6-year-olds. And first up, we have Megan. Come on in, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Today you're going to talk about cognitive development.
Yes, I am. 6-year-olds are very ambitious and they're very motivated to learn. So how would you make that happen? Well, I would suggest lots of field trips.
Okay, what kind of field trips would you recommend?
Well, maybe the Perot. There's lots of science there. They're starting to understand how things work and how the body works and, you know, how the weather works, any kind of science.
Right.
I would take them to the Arboretum. They learn seasons. They learn, well, why do the leaves change in the fall? Why are flowers growing in the spring? It just opens that door for learning about the environment.
Right.
And then I would take them to an art museum. They're starting to understand the past a little bit, and so discussing past art and how it influences art nowadays would be a great outlet for them to see.
Okay, and how would you ensure that they remember these details on the field trip?
Well, I would suggest, because at this age they really like to write, maybe have them write a story about what they learned, or even draw a picture, because they're real into arts and crafts at this age. But I would suggest, or watching out for, they tend to produce quantity over quality. But in my opinion, if what they're writing or what they're drawing makes sense and reflects what they did learn, regardless of neatness or anything, it shows that they are remembering and that their brains are starting to retain these facts that they're starting to learn.
Okay. Well, thank you, Megan.
Thank you for having me.
And next we have LaTui and Shannon. Come on in. Hi. Nice to meet you. So today we're going to talk with y'all about the emotional development of 6-year-olds. And so how sensitive are 6-year-olds?
They're really sensitive. They get upset easily, and severe criticism can really hurt their feelings. Like if someone says something that offends them, they may stay upset about it for a long time. And they also may throw tantrums and tease others, and they might also complain a lot.
Okay. And are they more influenced by their family or their friends?
They're more influenced by the happenings at school than at home.
Okay.
They like to have a lot of friends, but they think that they can only have one best friend, and they get really
That
anxious.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, they get really anxious, and they like to do well on tests, so they get really stressed out around test time.
Okay, I see. So it can be a lot of emotional new changes for a 6-year-old. Thank y'all very much. Our next super educator is Jamie. Jamie, welcome.
Hi, thank you for
Hi,
having me.
Jamie. You're going to talk about their physical development, 6-year-olds.
Yes, their physical development increases dramatically from when they're 5 to them now being 6. They are learning to distinguish between left and right, so that can increase their reading and their writing and handwriting, things like that. They tend to get tired really easily, active-wise, but they do enjoy being active both inside and outside.
Okay, what would be a good physical activity for 6-year-olds to engage in?
Anything collaborative, really, using teamwork and interacting with peers, something like soccer or basketball, volleyball, anything to get them more social and active, working together.
Right.
They also are more aware of using their fingers as tools, so anything, they enjoy a lot of hands-on things. Anything like painting, molding things into different shapes, anything like that. When working in school, they prefer a busy, comfortable working noise level, nothing too silent or loud. If it's too silent, it's awkward for them, and if it's too loud, they can't focus.
Right.
Lastly, they tend to be in a hurry about everything, so they really need that sort of encouragement to get them to slow down and focus more on quality over quantity of what they're producing.
All right, Jamie, thank you very much. And lastly, we finished with the social development of 6-year-olds, and today we have Shaylin here to talk about that. Hi, Shaylin. What can you tell me about the social development of 6-year-olds?
Well, first of all, they're competitive. So when you're talking about them in a peer group situation, they tend to be bossy, maybe a little territorial, and if they are losing in a game, they might try to invent rules to make them win. So you'd be really aware of that.
Right, so how do they work well in groups?
You just have to be aware of which ones maybe are getting a little too bossy or a little too competitive, and redirect their focus to being more collaborative
Okay.
and enjoying the game, not necessarily, they have to learn not, they're not always gonna win.
Okay, and what do their friendships look like?
They have large peer groups. They love everybody, they care for all their friends, they like to be in social groups, but they do believe that they can only have one best friend. So they may have a large group of friends, but they're gonna have one person they call their best friend. Now that best friend may change every day, but for that day, that's their best friend.
So that's usually what you see in this age group.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, when you're working with them, you wanna, social development is huge. So I recommend that you develop games or activities that take away maybe some of that competitive, so we're not focusing so much that you have to win to be the best, but that they learn to work together as a team, that you need your teammates in order to win. It's not necessarily a one-person win.
Okay, well, thank you, Shannon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for tuning in, again, for our special on the super educators and the development of 6-year-olds. All of our special guests today conducted research from this book. It's Yardsticks by Chip Wood. So I encourage everyone to go out and read on it if you're interested in learning more about 6-year-olds. Thank you and have a good night.